But thanks. A fraud warning tonight for anyone who sends checks through the mail. Brown County investigators say they're looking into multiple reports of mailed payments being altered and then cashed by criminals. Samantha Cavalli spoke with a financial investigator about what you need to know to protect yourself.
It's a routine bill payment, a check, an envelope, and a stamp. But Brown County investigators say some payments mailed to Discover Financial in Carroll Stream, Illinois, are not making it to their destination.
We recently received 3 complaints within a very short period of time, so we started to look into it pretty thoroughly.
Investigative Sergeant Michael Horst says the checks are being taken after they enter the mail system.
Once it's intercepted, all of the handwriting on the check is removed through a washing process where they use chemicals to remove the handwriting.
The checks are then rewritten, sometimes for thousands of dollars, and cashed using money mules. Horst says Carroll Stream is a major payment hub, making envelopes headed there a target.
We know that they're entering the mail system. It's not as though the mail is taken from the mailbox. It gets into the mail system and it's intercepted at some point.
The sheriff's office says other local agencies have reached out since it posted a warning online, and it's working to coordinate with the U.S. Postal Inspection Service. To protect yourself, Horst recommends tracking mailed payments, taking a photo of the check, turning on bank alerts, and using a gel pen.
If you use a gel pen, it's very hard to remove through the chemical process that they use, and they'll often just get rid of that check and not try to alter it.
If your check is stolen, Horst says you may need to open a new bank account because your account number is printed on it. If something doesn't look right, contact your bank, local law enforcement, and the U.S. Postal Inspection Service. In Brown County, Samantha Cavalli, Action 2 News.